October 20th, 1977, a Convair 240 aircraft is flying over Mississippi. Inside, the biggest southern rock band in the world. Lynyrd Skynyrd just finished a show in Greenville, South Carolina. They're heading to Baton Rouge for the next one. In less than 5 minutes, the plane will crash into a forest. 6 people will be dead. 3 of them are band members. But here's what nobody tells you. The pilots knew the plane was running out of fuel. Ronnie Van Zant, the lead singer, knew something was wrong. He'd been afraid of flying his entire life. 3 months earlier, he told a friend he wouldn't live to see 30. He was 29 years old when the plane went down. This wasn't an accident. This was negligence. And I'm about to show you exactly what happened on that flight. Before we get into this story, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Lynyrd Skynyrd wasn't just another rock band. They were the sound of the South, Free Bird, Sweet Home Alabama, Simple Man. These weren't just songs, they were anthems. By 1977, they were selling out arenas across America. They'd just released Street Survivors, their 5th studio album, and it was climbing the charts. Everything was going right. The band was at their absolute peak. Ronnie Van Zant was the heart of it all. He wrote the lyrics, he had the voice, he had the presence. Without Ronnie, there was no Skynyrd. But Ronnie had a problem. He was terrified of flying, not just nervous, terrified. He'd tell people he had nightmares about plane crashes. His father told him those dreams meant something. Ronnie believed him. In July 1977, just 3 months before the crash, Ronnie was talking to a friend backstage. He said something chilling. He said he had a feeling he wouldn't make it to 30. He said he'd probably die in a plane crash. His 30th birthday was in January 1978. He never made it. The band had been using the same plane for months, a Convair 240. It was old. It was a twin-engine turboprop built in the 1940s. By 1977, most airlines had retired them, but Lynyrd Skynyrd's management kept using it because it was cheap. The band hated that plane. They called it the plane from hell. The engines would cut out mid-flight. The fuel gauge didn't work properly. There were mechanical issues every other week. Artemis Pyle, the drummer, complained constantly. He told management the plane was unsafe. They ignored him. Ronnie complained too. He said the plane gave him bad feelings. Management told him to relax. In September, just 1 month before the crash, the plane's right engine failed during a flight. They had to make an emergency landing. The band demanded a new plane. Management said no, too expensive. They promised the Convair would be fixed. It wasn't. October 20th, 1977, the band finishes a show in Greenville, South Carolina. They're exhausted. It's been a long tour, but they're also excited. Street Survivors is doing well. The album cover shows the band standing in front of flames. Ronnie is in the center, surrounded by fire. It looked cool at the time. After the crash, it looked like a premonition. They board the plane around 4 p.m. The flight to Baton Rouge should take about 2 hours. Ronnie sits in the back. He always sits in the back. He thinks it's safer. Artemis Pyle sits near him. So does Steve Gaines, the guitarist, and his sister Cassie, one of the backup singers. Alan Collins and Gary Rossington, the other guitarists, sit toward the front. The crew loads the equipment. The plane is overweight. It's always overweight. The pilots, Walter McCreary and William Gray, know this. They know the plane is in bad shape. They know the fuel system is unreliable. They take off anyway. An hour into the flight, something goes wrong. The right engine starts sputtering. Then it dies completely. The pilots try to restart it. Nothing. Now they're flying on one engine. The plane starts losing altitude. Passengers notice. The band members look at each other. Ronnie's face goes pale. He knows. Artemis Pyle stands up and walks to the cockpit. He asks the pilots what's happening. They tell him they're running out of fuel. The left engine is about to die too. Artemis goes back to his seat. He doesn't tell anyone. He doesn't want to cause panic. But Ronnie sees his face. Ronnie knows. The left engine dies. Now the plane has no power. It's a glider. a 12-ton glider falling out of the sky. The pilots try to find a place to land. There's nothing but trees below, dense forest. The plane is dropping fast. People start screaming. Ronnie grabs his seat. He closes his eyes. Cassie Gaines is crying. Steve holds her hand. Alan Collins is praying. The plane clips the tops of trees. Then it slams into the forest. Metal tears, wings rip off. The fuselage breaks apart. Bodies are thrown everywhere. Then silence. Artemis Pyle wakes up. He's in pain. His whole body hurts. But he's alive. He looks around. The plane is in pieces. There are bodies everywhere. Some people are moving. Some aren't. He calls out. Alan Collins answers. He's hurt but conscious. Gary Rossington is unconscious but breathing. Artemis crawls through the wreckage. He finds Ronnie Van Zant. Ronnie is slumped in his seat. His eyes are open. He's not breathing. Ronnie is dead. Artemis finds Steve Gaines. Steve is dead too. Then he finds Cassie. She's alive but barely. She's bleeding badly. She dies a few minutes later. The two pilots are dead. The assistant road manager, Dean Kilpatrick, is dead. 6 people dead, 20 survivors. But they're in the middle of a forest. No one knows where they are. No one is coming. Artemis knows he has to get help. He's hurt. His ribs are broken. But he starts walking. He stumbles through the trees for over a mile. Finally, he sees a house. He runs toward it. A farmer named Johnny Moat sees him. Artemis is covered in blood. He's screaming for help. Johnny thinks Artemis is trying to rob him. He pulls out a shotgun and shoots him. The bullet hits Artemis in the shoulder. Artemis falls. He's screaming that his friends are dying. Johnny finally understands. He calls for help. Rescue teams arrive hours later. They find the wreckage. They find the bodies. They find the survivors. It's chaos. The news spreads fast. Lynyrd Skynyrd's plane has crashed. Ronnie Van Zant is dead. The biggest band in Southern rock is gone. The next day, investigators arrive. They examine the wreckage. They check the fuel tanks. The tanks are empty, completely empty. The plane ran out of fuel. The pilots knew. The fuel gauges had been malfunctioning for weeks. The pilots had been warned. They took off anyway. This wasn't an accident. This was negligence. The National Transportation Safety Board releases a report. They blame the pilots. They blame the plane's maintenance. They blame the management for using an unsafe aircraft. But it's too late. 6 people are dead. 3 days after the crash, MCA Records pulls the Street Survivors album from stores. The cover shows the band in flames. It's too painful now. They replace it with a new cover. Just a black background, no fire, no faces. The band's families hold funerals. Ronnie Van Zant is buried in Jacksonville, Florida. His casket is surrounded by flowers. Thousands of people show up. Steve and Cassie Gaines are buried together. The Southern rock community is devastated. The Allman Brothers, the Marshall Tucker Band. Everyone loves Skynyrd. Everyone loved Ronnie. For a while, it seems like Lynyrd Skynyrd is over. Alan Collins and Gary Rossington survive, but they're broken. Artemis Pyle survives, but he has nightmares. They can't imagine playing without Ronnie. They can't imagine continuing. But 10 years later, in 1987, something happens. Johnny Van Zant, Ronnie's younger brother, approaches the surviving members. He wants to reform the band. He wants to honor his brother's legacy. Alan and Gary are hesitant. Is it respectful or is it opportunistic? They decide to do it. They call it the Lynyrd Skynyrd Tribute Tour. Johnny takes over as lead singer. He sounds like Ronnie. He moves like Ronnie. Some people love it. They say it's a beautiful tribute. Others hate it. They say it's disrespectful. They say Lynyrd Skynyrd died with Ronnie. The debate continues to this day. Is it the same band or just a cover band using the name? There's no right answer. But one thing is certain. Lynyrd Skynyrd never fully recovered. The crash didn't just kill 6 people. It killed the soul of the band. Ronnie Van Zant was irreplaceable. His voice, his lyrics, his presence. Without him, it's just not the same. And the tragedy is that none of it had to happen. The plane was unsafe. Everyone knew it. The pilots knew the fuel system was broken. Management knew the plane was overweight. Ronnie knew something was wrong, but they all kept going. They kept flying. and it cost 6 people their lives. Ronnie Van Zant said he wouldn't live to see 30. He was right. He died 3 months before his 30th birthday. He died doing what he loved, but he died because people ignored the warnings. That's the real tragedy of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Not just that they died, but that they didn't have to. If this story hit you the way it hit me, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. I've got more stories like this one, stories about the tragedies and mysteries that shaped rock history. And if you want to go deeper, check out my video on AC/DC and the death of Bon Scott. It's another story of negligence, excess, and a death that could have been prevented. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.